nice, some deer. So we're out here today on the QuietKat here. Kind of the first ride, messing around a little. All right, guys. So just got back from kind of doing a little bit of an e-bike ride in and around the monument area here off Santa Fe Trail. So we found some trails that we were just kind of putzing around, taking it easy. Decided to have some fun today, which was cool because we got to ride the QuietKat finally. So yeah, very excited about this bike. This is a lot of fun. Now I'm sure I've already maybe talked through the footage, or maybe we'll go ahead and we'll just probably voice over it while we're riding the trail. It's probably more interesting than just this. But I had a really fun time on the QuietKat. Now, I'm not a mountain bike guy. I've never ridden a fat tire before. I've never dealt with shifting the gears. Honestly, even as a kid, I didn't ride a bicycle a whole lot. So forgive the terrible technique in learning this bike. So we'll kind of point this towards the bike here. But yeah, so we ended up going a total of 7.5 miles. So the total on here is 9.3 now. We had a couple of miles just from them testing and riding around the area, the shop a little bit. But yeah, so we got in a fair bit of a ride there, which was fun. I got to learn a lot about this thing. I think the biggest thing that I learned so far is that it's not quite as nimble, and the angle is quite a bit different than a dirt bike, it feels like, with the front wheel. So you're turning and you're pedaling through corners and carrying momentum. It's all different, so I've got to relearn that. The fat tire's something that I'm just going to have to kind of feel out. I wish I'd lowered the pressure a little bit, because I think we put about 20 pounds in here. It's probably a little bit too much. I don't know, on a dirt bike I'd only run about 10, so I figure it's probably about the same here. But some initial impressions on our first little ride through is really sweet bike, tons of power, and I was riding in Sport 5, no lie. So I was just, we were going quick. In fact, I think I averaged a really quick pace through the trail for never having ridden one of these through that kind of stuff before. So, but it had absolutely monstrous amounts of power. Every time I started pedaling, it pushed. If I screwed something up and I put my feet down like I wasn't supposed to, using the throttle to get me out of the switchback or turn worked great. Yeah, I think the things that I struggled with as somebody who's not used to mountain biking and things like that is definitely the the shifting of the gears. I don't know what I'm doing. They of course don't want you shifting while you're under power, which is sometimes hard to do. You got to get used to it, and when you forget to do it, you hear lots of crunching of gears back there, which is not good. I have a feeling with renters that this is probably going to have to keep in mind of that might have to be something that gets replaced sooner than other things. But yeah, you got to be pretty self-conscious of pulling in that brake a little bit, pedaling, planning your shifts a little bit more. Because with a dirt bike, honestly, I don't know, like you get so used to just being able to slam on gears wherever you're at, pulling a clutch. This is just not the same. So I learned towards the end to get a little bit better about it. But yeah, the shift mechanism, I think we might need to adjust it a little bit. I don't exactly know how that's supposed to feel or set up, but we got some local mountain bike guys around here, as well as the dealer dude, Todd. Awesome guy. He's our rep. He has a ton of knowledge on these, so we'll ask him about it. And we'll learn something new. Now, for those of you out there that don't know, the QuietKat Rubicon is I think their top model right now. It has that mid-drive motor rated at 1,000 watts nominal, but 1,500 watts peak. So it really does put out a pretty substantial amount of power. I think I got it up to 33 miles an hour with just throttle down the trail. So that's pretty monstrous. That was, more speed than you'll ever need in your life, trust me. Power wise, so we started out at about 65%. And now it says 37, but when I pulled back in here, we were at 19%. So it definitely could be that now that it was sitting inside and the temperature came back up, and it was resting, that the percentage went up a little bit too. So I'm not totally sure. Sometimes when batteries are brand new, they need to cycle a few times for the cells to balance properly. And I kind of think since it was new from the factory, we just rode the heck out of it. It was saying 19%, and maybe the BMS on the inside balanced the cells, and then it was like, okay, we're at 37. So 65 down to 37%. That's really good for 7.5 miles, Sport 5. Lots of throttle, lots of playing around. Was not conservative on power whatsoever. I'm pretty happy with that because we played it quite a bit. And as far as if you were to come here to Monument to rent this bike from us, the trail's right down the road. You can get on it and have some fun. Really quite sweet. I have to say, very impressed with the bike, more so than I thought I was going to be. Ooh, Audi R8 guy. See if you can peek that. So you tell me, if you own a nail salon that never gets any business, you can get yourself one of those. They also have a Lamborghini, and then we saw a Ferrari over there too. So man, I don't know what these guys do to make their money, but sure as heck ain't nails. Anyways, sidebar. Other considerations, brakes were phenomenal. Brakes were really good. In fact, the brakes on this Rubicon are better than the Teleria. Where are you at? The Teleria right here. Teleria's brakes. Honestly, now that I've ridden other mountain bikey things, the RAR Mantis, the Teleria's brakes need a serious upgrade. I don't know if the MX4, we're going to be probably getting some to sell, but I don't know if the MX4 got better brakes, but it sure does need it. Brakes were very good. Very happy with the brakes. The entire driveline system felt really good. Shifting up and down was very positive once I figured out how to do it. So you hold in the brake a little bit to disengage the motor, keep on pedaling, shift to whatever you want to be in. I felt like the top gears, and I think this is a 9 gear, 9, 10, something like that. I have to count them. Not totally positive. But, yeah, so, and I was just kind of looking at this to see if I caused any undue damage here, because I definitely was slipping some of the gears a little. But the top 2 gears were probably what I was in the most, because we were cruising around. I would say the top 3. And this thing has tons of power to just climb up in these gears. Now, I don't know if that's super hard on them or whatever. I don't know. I'm not totally sure. So yeah, but nonetheless, it really cranked up in those gears. Now, the last 2 gears, I feel like the second to the tallest gear really was, kind of felt like it didn't positively go into it all the time. We might have to, once again, do some adjustments. But otherwise, very smooth shifting, very nice. So just it's a matter of not overpowering or shifting while you're while you're under lots of throttle or assist. But I think that's pretty much it. I really had a blast with this bike. We're going to do a lot more with this thing. Now I got to clean it up. I don't like that there's not fenders because it's not a dirt bike. It just throws junk all over you. It was wet out there. So, not a fan of that. Hadn't thought about it. I was in regular clothes. So I'll throw up a picture. Should be entertaining. Have Mark send that to me where I look like I pooped myself. But yeah, so the Jeep Rubicon. Now this is a very expensive mountain bike, and this is probably setting a bar for me that's unreasonable for many people. A $6,500 bike, if memory serves. I'm sure on sale they're probably usually around $6,000. But it's a very expensive bike. Is it worth $6,000? I think if you're really into this, if you're going to take this hunting... Oh, I didn't comment on this. It's so quiet. I cannot tell you. And we had the RAR Mantis out with us too, and this is deadly silent compared to the RAR Mantis, even using the throttle. This thing is just almost totally silent. It's so quiet. You get the faintest of little hums from the motor when you're really getting on it. And it is impressive. I just can't tell you enough how quiet it is. But, is that really worth the $6,500? Well, I think with the components that you get, up to 1,500 watts peak, really good suspension. In fact, the suspension is quite phenomenal. If you were to take this out in the snow or hunting and you're, taking your game out of there, it'd totally do it. and you'd be super quiet, not scaring stuff away. So I can see why the hunters love these types of bikes. As for range, if we went from 65 to 37 and 7.4, and that's of course, you know, if you're willing to do more effort than I did, then you're definitely going to be doing quite a bit. We were also going pretty quick too, so faster you go on e-bikes, the more you drain them. Doesn't matter which kind. So really good stuff. Anyways, I'll quit blabbering on here because I just was just initial thoughts. I'm just spewing everything out, and I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it was like to ride the QuietKat the first time, how fun it was, just kind of messing around. And you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Some of these e-bikes and other things are real expensive. Now QuietKat has some, you know, around $2,000 e-bikes that are much more affordable. If you would like to see those in the shop, let me know. We're gonna have some of their villagers in and around town, regular trail kind of bike, like a dirt flat path kind of bike, I'll say. So we'll have some of those in here. That's a 500 watt hub motor. It's a lot cheaper bike. More affordable bike. It's not cheap, I know. So, but I think these are a great investment. I think it's one more thing if you've got some money to have fun or get a new toy. Why not? And it's accessible to everybody. Anybody could ride this bike. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Ferret Face out.